Hello, people. Can you believe it? It's been 6 weeks. We started this journey 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. Hello, welcome to the final week of a 6 week process. Um, we started this journey 6 weeks ago when I was challenged to start a business using the Ideas to Riches 6 step system. And the idea was that I would start a business and make sure that I bring this business to life using the system that we have created at Ideas to Riches and bring it to life in 6 weeks. To this week is the final week. This is the first of two live broadcasts that will happen this week. And the essence of this live broadcast is basically to show that this is a system that works and it's a system that's created another business. I spoke last week about some of the validation issues that I went through and the activities that I did to get my customer to validate the idea. And this week, what I want to try and show you is the nuts and bolts of what makes this a business. What exactly I did to make sure this has become a business. Now, the profitable element of this would obviously come a bit later. But what I just, the important thing I really want to try and get across today is to say in 6 weeks, we started from zero, we started from a simple idea, and now we have a business. And I'm now going to show you the elements that makes this a business. So the first thing I ought to do is to explain to you that in order for you to have a business, in order for you to consider something a business, you have to have interacted with your customers. Your customers should trust the value that you're proposing to give them, and they should be able to give you consideration in return for the value that you're proposing to give. So this here is a TV channel that we started. I came up with this idea when I was challenged way back in December when this 6 week process started. I came up with the idea that I'll create an online TV channel dedicated to profiling economic development practitioners and innovations. So the the value that I was proposing to give to my customer is that I'm creating this platform for them to share experiences, for them to basically give context to the work that they do, and to promote the work that they do beyond development. So to a wider audience that would be possible on Facebook. So this is the business that I have created. This is the business that I am now going to show you. This is the idea that I'm now going to show you has become a business. So I suppose the first point that I ought to make is that in the fifth step, what we decided to do is to create a minimum viable product. Now, a minimum viable product in itself is just a sort of like a lower version or a reduced feature version of the product. Or in my case, it's a TV channel that is currently purely on Facebook. The idea obviously is for me to have my own website that will be basically an online TV channel that will from which page will be doing all of the things that we're proposing to do on this TV channel. But for now, it's on Facebook. So that's the minimum viable product. And the principle behind that really is that you take the idea, you've gone to the customer, you've spoken to the customer about what you're proposing. You've now come up with a lower version of what your idea is, and you're now seeing whether or not the customer will buy this or the customer will engage with it. And so that is the minimum viable product. The idea is that the feedback you get from that will then give you a good idea of what the mainstream customers will like. As when we're profiling customers, we talked about two different type of customer. We talked about the early adopters and we talked about the mainstream customers. The early adopters are the people that will be interested in this minimum viable product that we have created. for this new business, and the mainstream customer will benefit from the feedback that we get from the early adopters that would then that we would then seek to really pull together to come up with a final version of the TV channel, of the online TV channel. So what I want to show you here is basically the minimum viable product that we have created, and that's the Facebook page. And I think I spoke briefly about this last week when I showed you the customer validation, basically going out to talk to customers and talk to them about the idea that I have, ask them questions, and ask them what they really want to see on the TV channel and what will bring them back to the TV channel. So this is what I have created. And these are some of the people I spoke with. And I think we went through this last week. Now, this in itself is very important to get this sort of customer interaction happening. But what is actually more important is this button here. I really want to show you this button. This is probably the most important button. Now, the principle behind my business is that there will be some subscription, right? People will need to sign up so they can get access to all of the episodes that we have on the TV channel for different things and different days. So the sign up button is absolutely important to create because we need to be able to interact with our potential customers. So they should be able to write to us and we should be able to write to them. And this is the way we connect with our customers. So as the service and the product evolves, the customers are aware of this. The customers are giving us feedback, and we're constantly interacting and refining our product and our service. So the only way you'll be able to reach your customers is if you have a way of contacting them. And that's why this is amazingly significant. Now, Facebook in itself allows you to collect emails and phone numbers. But to manage that, to make all of the interactions that you have with your potential customers really profound, there's a service that I've subscribed to. It's a service by ConvertKit. So they do sort of like email management system. As you can see here, 73 people have already subscribed to the DevTV. The DevTV channel, the Development TV channel. So now, what I want to show you is this form here. If I can get to it. So when potential subscribers click on this, what is it, DevTV? When they click on the sign up button, it would take them to this page. And this page is where they enter their email address and press subscribe. So when they subscribe, obviously they'll be counting that subscriber number that I showed you, and they'll be sent sort of like a welcome message to say, welcome to this Development TV. And these are the things that we have lined up, and these are the things. So it will inform them about exactly what it is that we have planned in the next few weeks as far as the TV channel is concerned, and how they can get a lot more value from the TV channel. So that's how we continuously have communication with our subscribers, which is quite different to the relationship that we have on Facebook. So that's one element that makes it that makes this idea that we started 6 weeks ago that makes it a business now. Now, in addition to that, we have a domain name registered. So as you can see, this is a .org registered. So we went to namescheap.com to register devtv.org. In addition to that, we have an email address with the extension devtv.org. So essentially, all of the elements that we need to have in order to make this a proper business is what we already have. It is an online business. It's an online TV station. So we have a way of collecting subscribers' email for people to subscribe. We have a way of managing the relationship between the TV channel and the customers that subscribe. We have a domain name that will move our TV channel to when we come to a full featured product. But currently, we're going through the minimum viable. We're going through the minimum viable product. So this is where we created a channel on YouTube, on Facebook, and all of the operations that we're going to have will be on Facebook as well as our website. But we're starting to get feedback from people on here so we can begin to really interact properly to see what it is that people want and how they want the service delivered to them. So that's one element. The other element that is really important that I will not be able to show you on here is that this is now a company that's been registered. Maybe I'll think about showing it with some element of it grayed out next week. No, on Thursday. I'll be able to show you the registration number for this business and the domain name. I'll be able to show you. There will just be a holding page on the domain name at the moment, just saying it will be it's under development. So until we have really good basis for which we spend money, so we can begin to until we have good basis. In other words, interaction with subscribers. In other words, increased number of subscribers. 73 subscribers is quite good as it is, but we need a whole lot more. And we need to begin to think about what sort of subscription those people need to pay so they can enjoy the value that we're going to provide on the TV channel. So this is where we are as far as this business is concerned. So the point I'm trying to make is that we have started this business. I started this idea when I was challenged way back in December, and now we've gone through each of the processes, each of the steps that we have at our Dares to Riches, and now we have a business, profitable business. That's what will come next. I'm hoping that I'll be able to show you exactly how it is that I determined that this is a profitable business, because I'll be able to show you basically the startup cost, my time, and the potential that the potential revenue that I can get for this business. So you can see that it is an online business, a profitable online business, and all of that started 6 weeks ago, and now we have a business. So if you have any question, if you have any doubt that the Dares to Riches system works, you have seen it in the last 6 weeks, that we have started a business. So please, your comment, questions below. If you want to send me a private message, as some of you have, please do send me private messages and tell me exactly what it is that you would like me to clarify and what you would like to see in the last broadcast of this series. My hope is that I will have a guest that will join me on that last episode, which will be episode 6B. I'm hoping that we'll have somebody that will join us so we can really have a good session, and hopefully some of you will interact with us live, so we can get your comments and respond to your comment and answer all the questions that you may have about our service. So thank you very much for watching. If you're watching the recorded version of this, thank you for following the process through from the very first week and very first episode to this current episode. The last episode will be on Thursday, and I should put a calendar. I would encourage you to please come back and watch the final version or the final episode of this series of live broadcast. So thank you very much, and see you on Thursday.